I see a lot of people saying the odds for Khamzat versus Dricus are crazy and Dricus Du Plessis should be the favorite, and you know what? I agree. The odds are crazy because Khamzat Chimaev is not a big enough favorite. You heard that right. Minus 180 is not enough for Khamzat Chimaev. I think he should be minus 250, minus 300 in this fight.
A massive sound just echoed across the room because Khamzat Chimaev, the unbeaten wrecking ball every fan fears, hit the floor after a spinning wheel kick in sparring. Cameras were off, but dozens of eyes saw him crumble, and whispers sprinted online faster than any punch he has thrown. 10 days remain before he storms into the octagon to face champion Dricus Du Plessis, and now the talk isn't about who wins, it's about whether Chimaev's chin has cracks. The knockout clip is still locked on a teammate's phone, but the rumor alone set the internet on fire. Du Plessis heard it within minutes and laughed a deep, confident laugh fighters use when they smell weakness. He posted one word, ready, simple, sharp, and a clear message that the champ plans to be the second man in a week to put Chimaev on his back.
The odds makers are going to say, the first round, of course, if Khamzat wins, and if it ends before 2 rounds, it's Khamzat all day. I would extend that after seeing this to even the first 3 rounds. 4 and 5 is what I want to see. I want to see Khamzat in the 4th and 5th. And if Khamzat's lighting his ass up, because DDP is going to be tough to finish.
Chimaev's team shrugs, calling it a lucky kick and promising revenge, yet even that calm statement feels shaky when you replay the scene in your head. Every countdown show says the same thing. This title fight is impossible to predict, and here's why. Dricus Du Plessis isn't a flashy striker who dances around. He is an avalanche that keeps rolling until nothing stands. He has smashed 11 opponents in a row, and each time people said the next guy would stop him. They never did. On the other side walks Khamzat Chimaev, the undefeated storm who has finished almost everyone in the first round. The UFC expected fireworks from horn to horn, but the sparring rumor makes the matchup feel like placing a glass bottle under a hammer. Will it shatter or bounce?
Khamzat over here. Salam. Congratulations on your win. Wanted to get your thoughts on Dricus as a champion, his run so far, and what do you make of his grappling?
What do you think, guys? How I done with this guy, Rob? How he done? Rob took him down. So if Rob took him down, so there is salam alaikum.
Du Plessis waited longer than promised for this defense because earlier cards kept falling apart. He wants payback, respect, and a statement win. Chimaev wants the belt he felt was his since debut. 10 days sound short, but for these men, each hour grows thick with pressure, questions, and reporters poking for clues. Arena lights are almost warm, posters printed, and everyone with a ticket is secretly betting bragging rights on who survives. To make sure his motor never stalls again, Chimaev moved his whole camp to what fighters call the engine factory. The training lab sits in Southern California, hidden behind a plain warehouse door.
Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. How do you feel about this fight, and where do you see this fight?
Remember, Khamzat never have a conditioning problem before this. After COVID, it really messed him up, and I was there. He was bleeding, like throwing up like blood. And he was in Vegas, right? But as far as I know now, he's in Russia. He's in camp. He's focused.
Yet inside, it looks like a science project crossed with a torture chamber. Coaches strap heart monitors around chests, adjust bike resistance with iPad taps, and shout numbers that measure suffering. Chimaev, who once slowed down in a hard welterweight bout, is the main test subject. He runs uphill sprints until his vision blurs, then wrestles fresh partners while a coach sprays him with water to make breathing harder. The goal is simple: erase the memory of that tired third-round critic's replay in slow motion. After practice, he lies on the mat, counts heartbeats until they drop under 80, then jumps up for another set. Teammates swear he now spars 5 non-stop rounds without placing hands on knees. Whether hype or truth will show only under bright pay-per-view lights.
DDP versus Khamzat. What is that, like 2-3 weeks? Like,
Yep.
Holy. I just actually watched DDP versus Israel this morning before practice. And dude, Izzy was looking so good in that fight. Like, I remember watching it and thinking, like, I only had rewatched it just this one time, but watching it live, I remember thinking, like, Izzy looked good.
The man who once crushed everyone in seconds is trying to prove he can also win a marathon. While Chimaev counts breaths, Du Plessis counts ways to rattle him. The South African champ has never been quiet, but this camp took his words to a darker level. On live radio, he warned he would send the Chechen back in pieces, and fans gasped. Later, a leaked voice note showed him telling friends he had already written Chimaev's eulogy. Death threat talk might sound like theater, yet opponents who faced Du Plessis before say he fights exactly how he speaks. Straight ahead, no pause. Social media fed on the drama, building graveyard memes and Viking helmets, each earning thousands of comments. The UFC clipped the spiciest lines for promo videos, knowing conflict sells.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back in round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Trash talk can backfire though. If the knockout rumor stirs deeper rage inside Chimaev, Du Plessis may have poked a sleeping bear. Still, the champ stands firm, repeating that the octagon is a place for truth, not feelings, and every line spoken outside just previews the violence waiting inside. Fans love it, sponsors sometimes cringe, but every click adds more eyes to fight night. Predictions are cheap, but opinions from men who have felt both fighters' weight carry gold. Reinier de Ridder, a polished grappler who trained with each contender, says Du Plessis wins because he is unbreakable. His words sparked headlines because de Ridder is known for calm analysis, not wild takes. Meanwhile, middleweight upcomer Caio Borralho, who shared Shark Tank rounds at the training lab, also favors Du Plessis, pointing to a hidden switch in the champ's brain that activates when rounds get ugly.
Hey, I'm gonna smash that guy and knock him out 1 minute, guys. I promise you. I kick your ass and his ass together. Come in the cage.
Why are you so angry?
Those two votes make a small sample, yet fans cling to them like clues in a mystery book. Odds makers notice, and the betting line tightens. Still, other gym insiders whisper opposite tales. They describe Chimaev ragdolling bigger men, laughing between takedowns, ending days with a cold plunge that would freeze normal hearts. For every story that helps Du Plessis, another floats that favors Chimaev. The only clear fact is that men punched by both contenders think this fight is razor close, and viewers should keep their picks humble. Enter Nordin Imavov, the French contender who almost stole the spotlight. After beating Adesanya, Imavov wanted the belt next, but the UFC had already promised the golden ticket to Chimaev.
I always pick against Dricus Du Plessis unless he's fighting Sean Strickland. That's the only time I picked him. And I always pick for Khamzat Chimaev, and I'm not switching that up now. Khamzat Chimaev is a generational fighter. He may go down as the greatest grappler in the history of the UFC. You could book it. The only guy who I've seen that I could definitively say may have been a better grappler is Khabib Nurmagomedov.
As a consolation, they offered him the backup slot, train, fly, weigh in, and hope someone pulls out. Imavov agreed at first, hunger louder than pride. Then the date moved from June to August, and he realized he would spend an entire summer grinding for a chance that might never come. He walked away, calling the role a shadow job nobody remembers. When Borralho accepted the position, Imavov labeled him my leftovers, sparking a mini feud. Even while airing grudges, Imavov offered the sharpest view of the title fight. Chimaev ends it inside 2 rounds, but if the storm calms, Du Plessis drags him into deep water. His breakdown matched many analysts, but felt fresher coming from someone who shared sweat with both men. Imavov closed by stating the belt, not friendships, guides his choices, reminding fans that in MMA, alliances bend when gold is involved. Du Plessis later sat in a Fox studio, bright lights bouncing off his rugged face, and explained why he isn't scared of takedown. He admitted he is not the best pure striker or grappler, but claimed he is the best mixer. For non-fighters, that means he blends punches, kicks, trips, and scrambles like ingredients in a smoothie nobody else can digest. He even welcomes being planted on his back by Chimaev because every position, he says, drains the challenger's lungs. The champ's plan is simple: survive the early avalanche, then pour on pace. He calls his style controversial, and coaches try to hire partners to mimic it, yet nobody matches his rhythmic switches or odd timing. Unpredictability is his shield. If you can't read the move, you can't block it. He smiled while saying this, the grin of someone who loves being underestimated, and the clip flew across fan pages hungry for clear strategy talk. Veteran referee and analyst Big John McCarthy added another layer on his podcast. He has watched more octagon rounds than almost anyone alive, and his booming voice often shifts betting odds. McCarthy argued that Chimaev's old cardio issues are history, thanks to brutal conditioning at the training lab. He likened the facility to a car shop that replaces weak engines with V8 second, and said Chimaev is now a machine built for 5-round wars. Some fans cheered.
Who you got, Chimaev versus DDP? I've got DDP over Chimaev. I've got Dricus Du Plessis winning. I think Dricus survives round 1 and finishes Chimaev in the later rounds. Dricus is a really good fundamental base in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling.
Picturing a 60-second whirlwind followed by 4 rounds of relentless pressure. Others doubted, recalling how habits die hard. The disagreement fueled more podcasts and highlight reels showing Chimaev's slower moments with ticking sound effects. Somewhere in California, Chimaev listened, maybe smiling, maybe frowning, but definitely hearing, Whether Big John is right or just adding drama, his words raise the stakes. If cardio no longer limits Chimaev, Du Plessis must locate a new key to unlock victory. The sparring rumor turned solid when lightweight striker Rafael Fiziev stepped up and told the full story. In one intense round, he noticed Chimaev sidestepping with his hands drifting low. Fiziev, famous for spinning kicks that whip quicker than a blink, set a trap. He faked a jab, saw Chimaev slide, and spun. The wheel kick smacked against temple, and the bigger man's legs folded the way gym floors remember. Fiziev didn't boast. He calmly explained angles, timing, and why every sidestep needs hand discipline. His quiet tone made the tale heavier because it sounded like a lesson, not gossip. Reporters rushed to confirm, and 3 Russian outlets backed the story. For viewers, analysis began. If a lighter fighter can drop Chimaev in practice, what can a stocky middleweight champ do with 4-ounce gloves? Coaches counter that sparring mishaps happen and practice knockdowns prove nothing. Still, images of Chimaev on the mat now live rent-free in fans' heads, and Du Plessis surely rewatched Fiziev's kicks in slow motion, mapping out targets. Amid the chaos, another headline slipped in. Khabib Nurmagomedov said his protege, lightweight king Islam Makhachev, might retire in about 18 months. That small sentence sparked wildfire speculation about legacy fights, especially a clash with newly crowned Ilia Topuria. Commentators like Paul Felder argue the matchup is no longer fantasy but part of Islam's final checklist. The idea rolls above the Chimaev-Du Plessis noise like a second storm cloud, reminding fans that MMA storylines never rest. Channels that mine foreign interviews and hidden gym whispers promise to track every twist, from Islam's timeline to Topuria's call-out. They close each video urging viewers to drop predictions, hit subscribe, and buckle up because tomorrow's rumor might rewrite today's script. In a sport where fortunes flip with one strike, just like Fiziev's wheel kick, staying ahead means watching every camp, every quote, every subtle eyebrow raise. Whether Chimaev rebounds from the sparring shock or Du Plessis walks through fire to keep gold, the only guarantee is that fight fans will refresh feeds, searching for the next burst of drama before the cage door locks.